Hey everybody, Alicia here. I can't believe we are moving into February already. So this month, even though it's one of the shortest of the years, I have 6 themes particularly for the month of February. So I'm just gonna hop right into it. So the first energy that wanted to come through was very much this cheetah energy and this idea of quick movement, quick inspiration, quick action. The spirit showed me opportunities that will be coming around this month. They're not going to be there very long. If you feel inspired to take them, whether it's through inspiration that you're being inspired to move and take action for, trust the quickness in which you feel you need to take action for it, because it will be almost like a divine timing for it to be received, for it to collaborate with the other energies around, whether it's a job opportunity, whether it's a creative expression, whether it's an intuitive kind of hit to say hi to someone or reach out to somebody. They're saying to really allow yourself permission to be guided in a very synchronistic way. And this can also happen, like say if you have an idea, all of a sudden you see a feather or you see a rainbow or you see a different sign, boom, allow that connection to be a resonance of like, okay, this is it, I'm gonna do it, I'm just gonna do it. And allow to see how the universe is really meeting you in this kind of beautiful co-creative alignment, where you don't necessarily need to have an understanding of what the final outcome is going to be, but just the next step of the movement. And number 2, this month is a time where there are going to be, whether it's opportunities or people, that the universe is going to align for you. And this kind of goes back to the cheetah movement a little bit with the opportunities. But it's almost like these opportunities are coming around again because you are in a different space. Say before you may have been in an avoidant energy. So there was a person you may have been interested in, but because you were necessarily coming from an ungrounded, maybe trauma response kind of way, that this is malachite, everybody, that you didn't show up in the way that was actually a true authentic expression for you, but more of a trauma response. Or maybe you also people pleased in a certain situation, and so in a certain dynamic or relationship, you showed up in a way that actually wasn't authentic to setting healthy boundaries for yourself. But because of the growth that you have gone through, and whether it's a person, a job opportunity, a friend, whatever the dynamic is. And it's even also, they're showing like a location, right? Say you wanted to move and it just wasn't in alignment for you at that time. These opportunities are going to be coming around in a different way because of the frequency of where you are now and where the energy of, whether, like I said, an opportunity, a location, a person is now. You are all more in a balanced kind of space where you can be like, okay, let's see where we are now and if this is a match for where I am now. Not necessarily from where you were before. That, though, be very clear about this perception of where you are. Because say if someone comes back around and they're truly in a space where they would like to create something healthy for you, with you, and you have this perception of where they were from the past, allow yourself to be very grounded of where you are in that. Is there still resentment? Is there still anger that you need to heal so you can show up in a way that's authentic for you? And is the other person actually showing up in a way that is altered from where they were in the past? So trust yourself, right? And kind of allow your intuition to feel it out a little bit, and don't, and just see where the dynamic is. And each situation is different. So just allow yourself permission to honor what was and where you are and where the other person or situation or opportunity is, and if it's a match for you in the now. Yeah. So that's number 2. Number 3 is this idea of autopilot, the Truman Show, right? Is there a place in your life that it's like literally the same kind of dynamic? It could be different people, different atmosphere, but it's like a whole kind of like every day. You may walk your dog in the same route, or you drive your kids to school and you see the same people every day, and it's just like, oh, hey, how's it going? Very kind of like the same, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and good night, ha, 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 ha. How can you mix this up for yourself? How can you maybe engage with someone? Say you are walking your dog, or you're out taking your child for a walk, and you see someone and it's the same, how's it going? But instead you kind of notice something that they're wearing, and you start to engage a conversation. And this is like, whether it's in a coffee shop, or maybe you go shopping at the same store all the time and you see the same workers, or wherever it is, try to engage in a conversation with them. Because the spirit is really showing me that the engagement of more than, this kind of surface level, kind of mundane, going through the routine kind of thing, changing it up is really going to be very expansive for you and the individual. And it may open up doors to something that you are looking for an answer for, that you had no idea could come in such a magical kind of, maybe what you may think as mundane kind of way. But what they're saying is that these meetings, these opening up, this willingness to connect more with even our surroundings, our people, the everyday kind of whatever, the willingness to and expand a connection is really going to feed soul connections and open up possibilities that you may have never thought could be possible. And number 4 theme is this idea of releasing toxins. Releasing toxins in the body, releasing emotional toxins. And so movement is a very beautiful way to do this. Qigong, pardon me. Sorry, I'm just laughing because that's a reminder for me to say this. Burping, gas is a beautiful way of moving energy. Yawning, really awesome way of moving energy, moving toxins from the body. So this month is really about allowing to move these like through massage in a very physical kind of way through the body. Like I said, Qigong, there's these practices you can either do like purge or tone. Purging is going to be a really beautiful, there are movements, you can look it up on YouTube, to really move these stagnant energies that have, especially in the winter months, so you can tend to be a little bit more stationary and not move as much. So just moving the energy around. Also, if you want to go get an acupuncture appointment, there's community acupuncture in a lot of different cities and stuff, and just allowing the chi to be able to flow a little better with inside yourself. And Qigong acupuncture, yoga, all these are beautiful ways or to move the chi within the meridian lines and the chakras. Another way is food, being present to kind of what you're feeding yourself in a way, and allow yourself to be open to alterations that you may have not thought were actually quote unquote healthy. And I love this because whether it's Ayurvedic medicine or traditional Chinese medicine, the idea of like we're all beautiful, our own individual ecosystems, and what we put in ourselves helps bring balance or can cause out of balance. And it's different for everybody. I recently found out like I can't do vinegar. That includes apple cider vinegar, and I was actually using that as something before my meals to help with digestion, but I actually found out it causes my body to have a histamine response, so I can't do that anymore. So it's being willing to expand this idea of what healthy is for you, and actually what might be considered toxins or throwing your body a little bit out of balance, and to be present to what that is for you individually versus having these ideas, going through all this massive, all these fad diets or different things that are considered healthy or not healthy. But just trying to see things as what's in balance helps you bring imbalance to your body, to your system, to your chi, and what actually doesn't. And the fifth, number five is this big, some of us are considered truth speakers and whistleblowers. And it's hard not to point out places where there's injustice. There are many people that are advocating, especially now with what's going on in the Middle East. And this month particularly, it's really kind of asking you to see where how you actually feel energetically about what you're doing. Because there's a lot of energy that is being put out around things, and if you keep on speaking up about certain things and you feel like it's not being heard, and you're feeling depleted speaking continuously bringing up issues, and this can be in a bigger dynamic, or this can also be in whether it's a relationship with someone, a job situation that's just not hearing you or doesn't want to hear you. The key message is to take a step back and really evaluate what is worth your energy at this time, right? Is it actually worth speaking up right now about certain issues, say within a company, and the company is not going to change, and you keep on depleting yourself trying to get your point across, when actually your energy is really worth more nurturing yourself so you can make a move to a space where you will be heard, right? It's really about cultivating, and this is even advocacy, certain things, if this resonates with you, right? It's almost like there's timing right now that what you have to say and what you want to bring forward will be heard and make the difference that it needs to at a future time. That right now it may be a time for you to go within and nourish yourself a little more, recharge, and give yourself permission and trust that there will be a time when what you have to say will make the impact that you want to, but just right now, how it's being heard, or how it's the impact that you want to have is not able to make the difference that it wants to. There's many factors to it, and one of them may be considered how you are having your message come across, right? There's how it's being heard, the ears that it's being heard on, and also how it's communicated. So if the point is to create peace in some kind of conflict, and you're coming at it from a very wounded trauma kind of response, that to nourish yourself a little bit more, take a step back, because what you have to say is important, right? And I'm not saying it's not, but if you're able to do it from a more grounded place versus you're trying to get your needs met by someone who is not able to meet it, and it's actually more about getting a need met for you than I want to be very mindful how I say this. Then coming from a place of actual solution, but more it's coming from a wounded child that may need a little bit more nurturing. That taking the time to really allow yourself to move through the anger, the hurt for yourself. So you're coming from more of a passionate place versus revenge or resentment, or not it could be resentment, where you're sacrificing yourself for a mission, and it's actually doing more self-harm to you than actual in the process. And so this month, it's really about allowing yourself to really nurture you, so you can come back stronger. You can come back in a place where you're more grounded, and it will be heard differently. And this goes back to the idea of the alignment, right? The cheetah energy, right? It's almost, they're kind of conflicting each other now that I say it, but it's, you'll know if this is you, because your energy is very depleted right now in what you're trying to accomplish. And this is something I've come up against often, is there's a difference you want to make, but you keep on kind of either running yourself thin, or it's not getting making the movement or the shift or whatever that it wants to. They're just asking for you to nurture yourself a little more, and see how you can, through making the difference for whatever cause it is, putting that energy into yourself a little more, so it can come more from a heart-centered, filled up place versus depleted and empty place. So, balancing that, filling your cup up a little more. There was one more. I had 6. Let me see. Oh no, I think I went through them all, because oh no, one more. So over the last month or so, there were major kundalini energies that were coming through, that were really working with there's a central channel, right, that our true self or higher self kind of runs through our avatar or human body, into the chakras, into our aura. And the kundalini energy comes up from the root chakra all the way up. And our central channel, the kundalini channels that run through the chakras, went through a huge upgrade where the container in which our source self or source energy is coming through has totally been altered. And they were showing me, it's almost like the energy from the crown chakra, it's just like the vessel, the container, and where the source, our source higher energy, I am presence, whenever it comes through, is like opened up. And so this month, it's really the way we're going to be receiving this energy into our body is going to be amplified. And this goes back to the releasing and moving the energy into our body, like really physically allowing ourselves to purge a lot of these toxins because of the energy that we are pulling through this new reconstructed central channel is really upgrading us. You may have tingles in your head. And it was funny, as I was reading this, of course, my crown was like tingling like crazy. Excuse me. And headaches, all this kind of stuff. And to help move through this energy, like meditating on the crown chakra, kind of allowing it, visualizing it, kind of this beautiful energy like coming down into your central channel, going in to your central channel. And if you do artwork, if you don't do artwork and you feel like kind of playing around with this, allow yourself to channel your central channel like into different patterns, or paint it, or even if it's poetry, or move, like have a certain movement. But if you're allowing yourself to embody and express what this new container is for you, will actually really help to integrate these energies in a very beautiful, fluid, and eccentric kind of way. So yeah, those are 6 themes for this month. And yeah, if you'd like to join me on my Patreon, I've been doing channeling the light language codes for this month. If you will find that helpful at all, join my Patreon. I also have some other guided meditations over there that can assist you in your journey. So yeah, those are the themes that I have for February. And yeah, sending y'all so much love.